Hey, this is Tim Pierce. This is really more of a 12 or 13 amp tour than a 10 amp test. It kind of got away from me a little bit. I went over my allotment. And indeed, this wasn't even set up. I have an artist coming in who requested this. This high watt sounds good. There it is. I always open the master volume up on all my amps because I have a blast area downstairs. I have a vault so I can go stadium loud, and then I bring it back at a quieter level up here. So this is my cockpit. These amps are here because of my profession. This Diezel right here, it's something I finally got, and there are a couple of times in a year when I need that sound, and it has to be sitting here for those moments. The other stuff sounds more Marshall-y, more Voxy, more Fender-y. Some of these things I'll keep for my whole life because they're essential every once in a while. And I have people show up here to work and ask me for guitar sounds, and I like to have the stuff immediate when they ask for it. What I mean by that is when a songwriter or artist or producer or engineer comes here and needs guitar parts on a song, I try and give them everything I can, as much as I can, as quickly as possible. And having everything within reach makes the momentum really strong, and it shaves off little 5-second increments all the time, so I can give them more in a shorter amount of time. Click the link below if you want to check out the 14-day free trial in the Masterclass. We just added a 36-video basic rock rhythm course. This is good for people near the beginning, people who maybe play some acoustic guitar and want to play rock rhythm and jump in and get it right. So amp number one is my trusty divided by 13 RSA 23. It's my favorite of Frederick's amps. I did a video not too long ago where I said that my clean sounds are actually dirty. I could speak about that in a different way. I always take my clean sounds right up to the edge of breakup because that's where the amp starts to compress nicely. So it's true, my clean sounds are always dirty. It's kind of a bit of trickery. Even if I put on like a pedal in front of it, I can still get it clean by backing down the volume pedal or lightening my touch. And to me, that's the best version of clean, where the amp has gain, but you're not quite distorting it. So that's the gained up tone, and I back off the volume pedal or my touch. Make it clean. Now we move to the Park 45-100. It's amp number 2. Good time for me to show you the amp switcher, the Cahayan. It's got 8 loops, got the ins and outs hooked up, and it'll switch between 4 cabinets. Let me just scroll through 5 or 6 of these amps to show you how easy this is. So here's divided by 13. Park. Diezel. Naylor. Matchless. Vox. Let me demonstrate how important the mic pre is. This amp is only 15 watts. So it's the Joe Morgan Vox AC15 that he kind of cloned. And it's not a loud amp. So when you click to it, it's kind of, it's not the best spot for the mic pre. Now let me click the mic pre up. 2 clicks. Now it sounds like it's supposed to. Now I can turn down the gain and find the spot where the amp kind of functions the best. Really throaty and nice. Put on a pedal for distortion. Back to clean. The thing about this amp, single note stuff is very, 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 very clear. I'm gonna make you laugh, Aiden. Just don't fall off the stepladder. See, it's kind of clean and open sounding. The knobs are really simple. I like turning knobs that sound good. That's about the depth of my expertise talking about gear. Now you have to be careful when testing amps because louder is always better. And if you turn something up, you're gonna go, wow, that amp sounds better than the other one. And it's just volume. This guitar sounds good through it too. It's so loud that single note stuff sounds very, very clear. Probably not as warm as the divided by 13, but they both have, you know, you get warmth out of the divided by 13 and you get more size and definition and clarity out of this guy because it's just more wattage. Okay, here's another quick sound on the Park 45-100. I would call this big and clean. This is a Veillette baritone. Joe Veillette makes a lot of great instruments. Check him out. And this is plugged into the Diezel. The Diezel. Diezel's a friend of mine. We're going to do a video soon, but this is the Diezel. I used Naylors in the 90s, like exclusively. It was crazy. I would just use this amp most of the time. It has a really nice clean sound too. And the thing about the distortion, it's this really smooth kind of, the bleed in of the distortion is really smooth. Check this out. It always seemed to me that this Naylor had a very smooth and musical distortion, kind of creamy for lack of a better word. Next, the Matchless Clubman. It's simple and it sounds like a Vox. You have to be careful with it because it can get harsh, but if you just keep it this side of harsh, then it becomes sparkly. If you just use words, then it can be anything you want. Sparkly. How about in tune and sparkly? Okay. So here's this beautiful old Silvertone that I actually bought as a hand-me-down from Mike Landau. Matchless sounds pretty deep and throaty. Moving to amp number 6, this is a Joe Morgan Vox that he made. It does have a little more of a vintagey bottom end. The bottom end seems to explode a little bit like vintage Transformers do, so. Transports me back to 1965, although I was 7 years old, but I was dreaming of this stuff. So you see the amp and the sound kind of pushes you in directions. So I think that was actually a good overdub for this because there was kind of a nice counterpoint between the two guitars. Let's move over to the David Grissom model. I don't know if you know David Grissom, but he's an amazing guitar player. You should check him out. And here's the Grissom with some Hendrix tones. So now we're going to move to channel number 8. Joe Morgan sent me this. I do not own it, but he wanted me to check it out. I turn amps all the way up because I have my vault downstairs. So when it's a master volume, I turn it all the way up. I always like to include my Filmo sound. It's a one knob film projector adapted to be a guitar amp. You cycle through all these amps and you go, well, I could actually get the job done with something like this. This is a prototype. He agreed to sell it to me, and it's the same thing. Here's the one knob circuit, and then this is the tremolo circuit. But this guy sounds great too. It's his 20 watt Marshall. Check out the 20 watt Park with this guitar. This Plexi Marshall from 1969. It's very much like this Park, this brand new Park. It does have that kind of squawk down there. I can make it dirtier, but just a big, loud, clean, open. Well, it's not clean. I'm really lucky to have that, and it's sounding great. So that's the Holy Grail Marshall with the laydown transformer, the Plexi, 100 watt Plexi. Find that sweet spot where it's a little tighter on the bottom end and cleaner, and I would just use a pedal to distort it. That's satisfying, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, God. I remember when I got my first Marshall, I was like 19, and it was a 50 watt with a long box, and it changed my playing. I mean, I can hear it right now. It's gushy. It's got this, it's pillowy. The words are dumb, but. You can really hear it on the wound string. It just makes you want to keep playing. Behind me, hidden here, is the last amp in our tour. This E stands for electrosonic. The gentleman who made this amp is no longer making amps. I looked on the web, and there's some beautiful E amps on the web. Not this one, can't find this one. It's a very good high gain amp. I have my ODR1 off. This is the amp without the pedal. on the pedal, the ODR1. You know, honestly, it does have some of the same properties as my Holy Grail 69 Marshall with the laydown transformer. It actually has two power sections that can be blended, a 6L6 and an EL34. Just a great thing that I ended up with. A dear friend of mine, Howard Willing, engineer for Billy Corgan, the Smashing Pumpkins, lots of other people. He provided this amp. He kind of handed it down to me, and someday I'll hand it down to someone else. It's really an awesome thing. On top of that is an amp made in a garage by my friend John Brunick. They keep coming. The amps keep coming. I haven't heard that one yet. Maybe next time. I wish I'd been better at holding on to guitars than amps. I've let some good guitars go, but I tend to hold on to my favorite amps, and that's why they keep surrounding me. I hope that I don't just get completely surrounded so you can't see me anymore, but that could happen. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. If you are a subscriber, please ring the bell. It lets us let you know every time a new video is released. You can also support us by clicking the link below for the online masterclass. As I always say, we're up to over 100 hours of lessons and content, over 1,000 videos, and we add more every month. There's a 14-day free trial. Take your time, take a long look. We'd love to have you join us.